Happy Sunday, guys. Welcome back. I missed last week. I apologize for that, but I am back this week to talk to you guys about school, which is our topic this week, so hooray for that. I am probably not the best person to consult with about school, just because I've been graduated for 4 years. I graduated in 2011, so I've been out of high school for a long time, and things can change in, a matter of months. A year and 4 years is quite to be removed away from that. Plus, every school is different. My experiences were not good in high school. I was bullied. I was not out as trans. I did not come out as trans until I graduated high school, and I actually didn't even know what being trans meant all through high school. So, yeah, really not the best person to talk to about that. Coming out as trans when you're in high school can be an awkward thing, because you're already going through puberty, and you're going through puberty in the, if you already identify as trans, you're going through puberty the way that you probably don't feel comfortable. Well, puberty isn't fun for anybody, let's just call it that. But, when you are trans and you feel male when you're not, your body's not male, and you feel male and you're going through those changes of female puberty, it can be really awkward, and it can, amplify that to a level that can never really be explained unless you actually know what it feels like to go through that. And I noticed over the years, since coming out and being understanding of the term trans and coming to terms with myself, I've noticed a lot more people coming out to terms with who they are in school. And that's, all power to you. It can be awkward because you're not going through hormones. Obviously, your name isn't changed. And what the schools, not just the students, but the teachers and faculty as well, how accepting and willing they are to use your preferred names and pronouns is really dependent on the individual teacher themselves. I hate to be the stickler to say it's a generational thing, but there's a lot of older teachers out there who there's a huge generation gap, and they might not necessarily understand what you're saying when you tell them those things, and they may just straight up not respect you. And unfortunately, that is the way that society is. The biggest thing is you have to make sure that you stay true to yourself. Everybody's figuring themselves out in high school, but when you're trans, it creates more complications than the standard, regular, everyday garden variety student in high school, for many reasons. And if you are trans, whether or not you came out while you were in school or not, most trans people know they're trans well before they come out, or even know what it means. There's signs all through life when they're, as kids, even in elementary school. When I was in elementary school, there's all kinds of signs. I dressed and acted male. I was confused about my body from the get-go. I was more like the boys than I ever was the girls. I always had long hair, and I sometimes wore dresses, but that didn't necessarily mean anything. I always knew there was something different about me that I couldn't explain. And after high school, when I was, introduced to what being trans actually meant, I did my research, and you just kind of clicks. You figure it out. And when you figure it out, you have so many options. There's surgeries and hormone treatments, and I didn't start my hormone treatments until 2.5 years after I actually came out. So I had quite a waiting period for that. But I'm going to university in September. I'm moving, so I'm basically planning on doing a fresh start. I don't know anybody that lives in the city, and my name will be permanently and illegally changed on my driver's license, which is the most important thing. So the school's already aware. I saw a counselor before I actually applied to this program to make sure that it wasn't going to be an issue. And that was almost a year ago that I actually applied, and I hadn't actually started testosterone yet. And now that I have been on testosterone for 7 months, and my name will be changed, it's going to be a lot easier to, go with that. It comes easier with time, for sure. Patience is a virtue. You just want to make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. Public washrooms in schools are a big problem, because it's an awkward time where you want to use the male washroom, likely, but you're not passing, and you don't know what's best for you, because you're going to get heckled when you go into the male washroom and the men see you in there, and you're going to get heckled just as bad if you do it in the female washroom. There's no winning, really. And I know some schools are going on board with the neutral washrooms, and I think that's important, especially for trans kids who are just starting out and may or not, they're not on hormones yet, and they're kind of in that phase where it's a safety issue for them to use either washroom, because they identify as male, but they still are pre-T, and it's a safety issue. Just remember that high school is only 4 years. and you don't have to talk to those people ever again. Once you're done, just get through it and go on with your life. Be happy with who you are, satisfied with your quality of life, and it's your life, so you got to make it how you want it to. So when you're done high school, you don't have to associate with any of those people anymore. So that'll be a wrap for this video. As I said, because I'm so far removed, I'd be the wrong person to talk to you about this. My experiences were not really, actually they weren't at all related to being trans when I was in high school at all, because I didn't come out until well after I graduated. So but yeah, that's a wrap for this video, so have a good week, guys.